always be open to, if you're presented with information that is valid, be open to changing your stand on something.
Welcome to the Run Lift Mom podcast, where we're talking about running, lifting, and momming, not necessarily in that order. Today, we are squarely in the momming category, talking about modeling healthy behavior and being an advocate for your own health with At the Core founder, Shanna Zaharis. Shanna is a mom, an educator, and also a very passionate health advocate, again, at the core, and she is going to empower you to be that for yourself as well. This episode definitely centers around modeling healthy behavior, but hear her message of do your research, empower yourself with information. Without further ado, Shanna Zaharis. All right, welcome to the Run Lift Mom podcast. Shanna Zaharis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am fantastic, and I'm really excited to be talking to you about modeling healthy behavior.
Well, I am a self-help enthusiast and founder of At the Core. I am a mama of 2 girls and a full-time teacher. And basically my whole life, I have been an athlete. I got a scholarship to a Division I college for softball. So I've always been, involved in sports and being healthy in that avenue. I wasn't always great at, nutritional choices and keeping my stress levels down. And that is something that later on, of course, as you become a mother, things kind of shift for you. So 5 years ago, after having my first daughter, really, it was when I got triggered to switch to a holistic lifestyle and really realizing that everything that I was doing, my choices, things that I say and things that I do are really, modeling for my children, the proper ways to be. And I wanted to make sure that the choices that I was making, and the better choices that I was making was really influencing them and going to, better them. So we kind of turned our world around. We went to everything, non-toxic. We started reading labels, not just trusting everybody that's in a white coat, that they know what's best for us, and really, questioning things. And I'm trying to raise them to be empowered to, search for answers and do your own research and, find your tribe and like-minded people and look into other avenues, not just physical health, but mental and emotional health, because we know how important it is to align all three to really, be whole and healing.
Yeah. Now, of course, anybody listening to this is like, they probably have been there also. We also know there's an abundance of information out there, right? Like if you want to look beyond a white coat, where would you recommend that somebody start, especially if they're just trying to live more holistically, a healthier journey?
For me, I did a lot because I was looking into mind, body, and soul, I did a lot of finding people who had personal experience. That at first, it wasn't just necessarily, let me go find a naturopath, let me go find a chiropractor, let me go find an acupuncturist. It was, let me find somebody who has a thyroid disorder like I do. Let me find somebody who experiences anxiety like I do. Because for me, I need somebody to know what I'm going through, to be able to direct me, right, with what works for them. Because so often, we go to these doctors, whoever they are, whether they're natural doctors or not, and they're directing us because of research they did and whatever, and no taking away from that. But if they don't truly know what anxiety feels like, if they don't truly know, what Hashimoto's, the debilitating symptoms that you have when you have that disorder, I found that I liked going that avenue first. So that's what I did. I found a bunch of like-minded people and people who have gone through that experience. And I started kind of jumping on their coattails and saying, who have you seen that, really helped you on your journey, and I would go based on their recommendations to different places.
Awesome. I love this. It's crowdsourcing, right? To be able to do your own research.
Right.
I love that.
It could be a rabbit hole, but it's amazing the things that you really do find out. And, I'm 40 years old. That were, this is 5 years ago that my world turned around. Up until then, I grew up with my mother as a nurse, and it was, you get vaccinated because you're supposed to. And it's just, I look at things so differently now with raising my girls, because I need to ask questions. I'm not just going to allow people to do things to my kids without me knowing, what's in everything, and, really doing all the research before I make a choice, that I can regret less than if I didn't research it,
I love it. So what I hear you saying is if, someone is maybe, questioning, questioning some of the things they're being told, just to do some self-research, empower yourself with information, start in the places with people that you personally know and trust.
Absolutely. And always be open to, if you're presented with information that is valid, be open to changing your stand on something. I mean, I'm a perfect example. Like I was, everybody should be vaccinated, like you have to, or, whatever's going to happen. And then I was presented this information, and I had to take a look at it and say, geez, Shan, maybe your stance was not correct. You may need to change the way you think about this,
Yeah. Tell me a little bit, Shanna, about what you do with your blog at the core.
So basically, at the core, I came up with, because with all this change that I've been going through on my self-healing journey, I realized, again, that it's not just physical health, that I've always been in shape and I've always kept up with that, but I was lacking with reducing my stress. I'm very go, go, go. I never slow down. My mind's going. And I'm like, Jesus, the more I'm reading about this stuff, stress is a silent killer. I got to slow down and have, moments of pockets of time during my day that I'm just deep breathing, or that I'm turning the brain off, or I'm present in the moment. As we're talking about like our children getting older, it's like how often I'm rushing out the door, like, let's go, put your shoes on, and I'm not enjoying the moment that I'm in. So stress and finding things to reduce my stress was a big thing. And then, and mind, like time blocking and prioritizing and mind mapping, all those things. So I wanted to bring it all together, because I felt as a woman that I had to go in all these different areas and curate information in order to have mind, body, and soul alignment together in one place. So what I'm trying to do for women is develop a community of people who are interested in bettering themselves in one or more of those areas, and putting it all in one place for them, so that they can utilize the resources, the people that are in there, and not have to go to a million different places to get what they need. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm developing a program in which people can come into that and just really, get what they need.
Yeah, wonderful. And listener, we will link to Shanna's group there in the show notes. Depends on the device or the player that you're in. What you'll do is you'll click the hyperlink that says detail, or you'll swipe up. So either or, you'll be able to check out at the core. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Shanna.
Thank you so much, Susie. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening to the Run Lift Mom podcast. I want to let you know that you can swipe up in the podcast player that you're in to see the show notes. That's going to take you to my website, and you're going to get a deep dive on today's show. Cool, huh? You can think of it as a blog post that complements what was covered today with all of the links and resources discussed. Don't forget to check out the podcast partners as well, with some really great offers for you. And until I get into your earpiece again, remember, for while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. That's from 1 Timothy 4:8, and this has been the Run Lift Mom podcast. This review is from Pink Photo Jen. She says, if you're into running and you're a mom, you'll love this podcast. Lots of great info, some funny stories, and episode lengths you can easily get through. Thank you so much, Pink Photo Jen. You guys, I would appreciate your review and comment. It helps other people discover the show. I obviously read all of them, and it personally just means a ton to me as a podcaster. My legs are tired. Bring me coffee. You guys, this is just one of the many shirts that I love from Sarah Marie Design Studio. They have running-inspired gear, gifts, coffee mug, jewelry, you name it, they've got it. It's awesome. And if you use Run Lift Mom at checkout, you will save 10%. Go to sarahmariedesignstudio.com and enter in Run Lift Mom at checkout for 10% off. It is time for the Alouette product of the week, and this week it is the Set and Shield Environmental Defense Makeup Setting Mist. Yes, I said makeup setting mist, but don't let this fool you. Anyone can use this under their mask to prevent maskne because, it is a barrier. It's creating that barrier there. So for you ladies, you're locking your makeup into place while also protecting your skin from environmental stressors like pollution. But for you guys, they can spray this on as well and create that barrier to prevent breakouts. I also like it when I'm not wearing a lot of makeup just to make me less shiny. This is a game-changing setting spray. Again, it's called the Set and Shield Environmental Defense Makeup Setting Mist. Thank you for listening to Run Lift Mom. I am so excited to offer a special discount to listeners of this show, and you're not going to find it anywhere else, so commit it to memory. Use the discount code RLM at checkout on my Alouette site to receive 15% off your order. You're going to go to alouette.com/runliftmom, and you can find that linked in the show notes. But remember, because this isn't in the show notes, the code RLM is only for people hearing my voice right now. You're going to save 15% off your order using RLM. And yes, this can be stacked with other gift with purchase or BOGO discounts.